The 7 Richest Men in the Bible. On this exciting tour, we will explore the material and spiritual wealth of some iconic characters from the sacred scriptures. Throughout history, the Bible has presented us with extraordinary figures whose fortunes and possessions go beyond simple material goods. We will discover how their faith, wisdom, and attitudes toward wealth influenced their lives and the world around them. Number 7. Hezekiah. Hezekiah was a prominent king of Judah, a biblical character recognized for his wealth and leadership. He ruled in the 8th century BC, inheriting the throne from his father Ahaz. During his reign, he was noted for his fidelity to God and his commitment to religious reforms. Hezekiah demonstrated political wisdom and strategic skills, allowing him to strengthen the kingdom of Judah and keep it secure from outside threats. His focus on justice and morality earned him the respect of his people and neighboring nations. Hezekiah's wealth was reflected in his palace, which was adorned with treasures and luxuries. In addition, he promoted infrastructure projects, such as the creation of a tunnel to bring water to Jerusalem and ensure supply during enemy sieges. One of the most notable events of his reign was when the Assyrian kingdom, under Sennacherib, attempted to invade Judah. Hezekiah trusted in divine protection and sought counsel from the prophet Isaiah, resulting in a miraculous rescue of the city of Jerusalem. In his last years, Hezekiah fell ill and prayed fervently to God, who granted him a prolongation of his life as a sign of mercy. However, Hezekiah's wealth and success also brought challenges, as he attracted the envy of other nations. Number 6. Joseph. Joseph is a biblical character whose story is found in the book of Genesis. He is known for his amazing wealth of wisdom, leadership, and material prosperity throughout his life. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob, who became the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel. His ability to interpret dreams stood out to him from a young age, which led his father to favor him. However, the envy of his brothers led him to be sold as a slave to Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph demonstrated his intelligence and wisdom by interpreting Pharaoh's dreams, predicting years of plenty and then years of famine. Due to his correct interpretation, the Pharaoh appointed him governor of Egypt, giving him a high position and power over the country's economy. During the years of plenty, Joseph wisely managed resources, storing reserves to meet the years of scarcity. Thanks to his efficient management, Egypt was able to survive the famine and remain prosperous. Additionally, Joseph was able to reunite with his family, including his brothers, who had sold him into slavery, and forgave them. Joseph's wealth not only referred to material prosperity, but also to the spiritual and emotional wealth that he found in forgiveness and reconciliation with his family. His story is considered an example of faith, patience, humility, and how wisdom and kindness can lead an individual to achieve prosperity in all areas of life. Number 5. The Pharaoh. The Pharaoh is a biblical character who represents a figure of great power and wealth in ancient Egypt. Throughout the Old Testament, several pharaohs are mentioned, but one of the most prominent is the Pharaoh of the time of Moses. This Pharaoh is known for his great wealth and opulence, as he ruled over one of the most advanced civilizations of the time. He owned vast fertile lands along the Nile, which provided abundant crops and resources for his people. His wealth was also reflected in the construction of majestic palaces, temples, and pyramids, testament to his lasting power and legacy. In addition to his material wealth, Pharaoh was also considered a living god and ruled with a heavy hand over his kingdom and his subjects. His authority was unquestionable, and his will was expected to be obeyed without question. The most famous story involving Pharaoh in the Bible is the narrative of Moses, who, according to tradition, was adopted as Pharaoh's son and grew up at the royal court. However, Moses would eventually lead the people of Israel in their exodus from Egypt, after Pharaoh refused to free the Israelites from slavery. Number 4. Job. Job is a biblical character known for his immense wealth and virtue. He is described as a righteous and God-fearing man who lived in the land of Uz. He had a great fortune, with abundant flocks, camels, and numerous servants. Furthermore, he was a loving father of 10 children. However, Job's story takes a dramatic turn when Satan questions Job's true devotion to God. God allows Satan to test Job, allowing him to take away all of his wealth, his children, and even his health. Despite his terrible losses and suffering, Job remained faithful to God and did not curse him. Instead, he faced his trials with patience and perseverance. Throughout the story, Job questions his suffering and seeks answers through conversations with friends and personal reflections. Finally, God restores Job's wealth, multiplying his livestock and granting him more children. Number 3. David. David was a biblical character widely known for his wealth of life experiences, skills, and emotions. He was born in Bethlehem, the youngest of his brothers, and began as a humble shepherd. However, his inner richness manifested itself in his courage and faith in God. The highlight of his life was when, as a young man, he faced the giant Goliath and defeated him with a simple sling and a stone. This act of courage catapulted him to fame and earned him the respect of King Saul and all of Israel. Over time, David proved to be a charismatic leader and an exceptional military strategist. Despite facing challenges and persecution from King Saul, he never lost trust in God and was eventually anointed as king of Israel. Although his wealth in material possessions grew considerably, it was his emotional wealth that marked him out as a man after God's own heart. David experienced triumphs and falls in his life, but he always sought reconciliation and repentance when he was wrong. His Psalms express a wide range of emotions, from joy and gratitude to sadness and anguish, making him a deeply human character. Furthermore, he was a man of deep worship and writer of many of the Psalms in the Bible, which evidences his spiritual connection with God. His legacy also includes the establishment of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and the divine promise that his descendants would be the basis of an eternal dynasty. Number 2. Abraham. Abraham, one of the most prominent characters in the Bible, is known for his wealth and the fundamental role he played in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Born in Ur of the Chaldeans, in ancient Mesopotamia, he is considered the patriarch of the Hebrew people. Abraham's wealth is attributed to several sources: his skill as a shepherd and rancher, his business intelligence, and his faith in God, who blessed him abundantly. His visionary character led him to lead his family towards the land promised by God. According to the Bible, in the book of Genesis, Abraham had a large quantity of livestock, silver and gold, and he had many servants. In addition to his material possessions, his wealth was manifested in his numerous descendants, including his son Isaac and his grandson Jacob, who continued his legacy. However, beyond his material wealth, Abraham is remembered for his deep faith and obedience to God. He was subjected to various tests and challenges from God, such as the sacrifice of his son Isaac, and demonstrated unwavering confidence in divine promises. Number 1. Solomon. Solomon, known as the richest man in the Bible, was the son of King David and ruled Israel in approximately the 10th century BC. His wisdom and wealth are highlighted in biblical history. According to the Bible, when God offered to grant him anything he desired, Solomon chose wisdom instead of riches or power. This choice pleased God, who granted him exceptional wisdom. One of the most famous episodes that shows his wisdom was the trial between two women who claimed to be the mother of a child. Solomon proposed dividing the child in two to give halves to each woman, but the true mother quickly renounced her claim to protect the child, revealing her genuine motherhood. In addition to his wisdom, Solomon also became known for his immense wealth. Thanks to his prosperous reign and his trade with other nations, he accumulated a great fortune in gold and silver. He built a magnificent temple in Jerusalem, known as Solomon's Temple, which was one of the most notable achievements of his reign. However, despite his wisdom and wealth, the Bible also relates that Solomon fell into idolatry and the worship of foreign gods, which caused problems later in his reign and led to the decline of the kingdom of Israel.